ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL video. My name's Cody, and today, or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I will be giving you my Round 11 2024 NRL tips, and it's also the fifth NRL Magic Round happening in 2024, dating back all the way since 2019. This will be the fifth incarnation where 16 teams will go up to Suncorp Stadium to go battle against each other across 3 days with 8 games taking place at the one venue. Now, last year I did go. I had an amazing time last year, and I'm glad I enjoyed it. I reckon this should stick around for the foreseeable future, even if it does move across the country or even to New Zealand, which, by the way, you guys, has officially been confirmed. Magic Round will stay in Brisbane for 2025 and 2026 for the next 2 years. So, luckily, for those people who thought that Magic Round was moving around the country, not yet. There'll be still another 2 seasons in Brisbane. But anyways, with that out of the way, I will be flying up to Queensland as well. But before we get into that, guys, I'll go just for a quick recap of last week. Last week, I managed to get 5 out of the 8 games correct. The only games that let me down was obviously us losing the Dragons. Lost 28-14. At least we didn't lose that much compared to Penrith this time. Well, I meant compared to last time, which was Penrith, but still, a loss is a loss. Sharks beat the Storm, and I tipped Melbourne, and Melbourne lost 25-18, and Sharks are the top of the league at the moment. So it's another one wrong. And then also the other game I got lost was the Cowboys. They came back too late to just lose to the Titans, 20 points to 18, which I'll get to the Titans when they go against the Knights very soon. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are still a few subscribers away from reaching 1,500 subscribers, and I'm hoping we can reach that before I fly up on Thursday to go up to Suncorp, or go up to Brisbane when I fly up on Thursday. So hopefully, guys, we can get there by then. But anyways, enough me dilly-dallying. Let's get into Round 11 Magic Round NRL tips. And the first game we are kicking off, the first 2 games we're kicking off is a repeat of last year. This time, with the first game, the teams have been swapped around for home and away. We have the home team, the Canberra Raiders, who are currently in 7th place against the 9th place Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. The Raiders are coming off their first bye of the year. The week before that, they came back down 20 points to 0 to beat the Mealy Warringah Sea Eagles 26-24. Gutsy, it wasn't an easy comeback, but Mealy have done this quite a few times this year already, so good on the Raiders for coming back. And like I said, they got their first bye last week, so they rested easily there. And as for the Dogs, they only just came up short. They came up short against the Panthers, losing 16-10 at Bluebet Stadium, which, funny enough, I was at that game last Friday, and it was a very scrappy game, but I enjoyed the atmosphere, and Bulldogs' defence was spectacular. They held on to catch up the Penrith, but just fell short. Good on the Dogs for showing that much performance, but sadly they still lost, and they look to redeem themselves as they face the Raiders this week. So at the moment, the Raiders are currently the outsiders at $2.28, and the Bulldogs at $1.63. Now, this will also be the third game these two have played against each other during Magic Round. The first one back to 2021. Raiders won 2018, and then the second game, which was last year, Raiders won that one again in a high-scoring game, 34 points to 30. So, was not a bad start to start off Magic Round last year, but still no defence in that one. And I say this one's a bit different because the Bulldogs were the home team last year. Now it's the Raiders who are the home team, and the Dogs are the away team. But in the past 10 games between these two, however, which includes the Magic Round games, Canberra have won 9 of the last 10, which includes winning the last 8 games in a row, my apologies. So the last time the Dogs won against Canberra was back in 2017, where the Dogs won 16-10, and that was also at ANZ Stadium. And these two will clash later in the year when they will play at Belmore Sports Ground on August 4th, which I think that's round 22, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, who do I have winning this one? Ooh, it's going to be quite tough. I mean, especially this game could go either way. Yeah, for this game, it's really tough to call, but I'm going to say I will back the Bulldogs for this one. This game could go either way. I mean, Raiders had been losing the last couple of games before they managed to beat the Eagles. As for the Dogs, they've been improving lots. But I think I will side the Dogs this one. This will be a good game as well to start off with. I'll go to Dogs to win by 6. Scoreline will go 22-16. For a try scorer, we'll go Matt Burton for the Dogs, and for Canberra, should he return for this one, I will go Jordan Rapana to I reckon Jordan Rapana will score should he be playing. If not, I will go Xavier Savage to score a try for the Raiders. And just for stats as well for Magic Round, Raiders have won 3 of the 4 games they've played for Magic Round. And as for the Dogs, they have never won at Magic Round, funny enough. They've lost to both the Knights and the Raiders, who they've only played there for Magic Round. And Dogs have not won at Magic Round, and they have not won at Suncorp since 2015 since 2015 when they played the Broncos 18-16. So I reckon the Dogs will get their first win at Magic Round in their brief history since Magic Round has been around. So Bulldogs win by 6. Now we move on to our final Friday game for Magic Round, kicking off at 8 p.m. shortly after the Raiders-Dogs game. We have the annual Magic Round clash for the 5th time and hopefully final time between the Manly Warringah Seagulls as the home team and the Broncos as the away team. Last week, Broncos easily defeated the Eels last Friday night at CommBank, winning 30 points to 14. And as for Manly, they gave up another lead again, but this time against the Dolphins. It was high scoring though, but Manly still fell short. 30 points to 26, losing up there at Suncorp last week. And not to mention, they have lost 2 more huge blows. They've lost Jason Saab to a AC joint injury and Tommy Turbo to yet another hamstring injury. That's like his 4th or 5th or 6th hamstring injury he's had in his career. Jesus fucking Christ. And he's out for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Which that's going to be a massive blow for Manly. Could this be their downfall? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, these two have clashed since 2019 at Suncorp for Magic Round, and it has been a pain in the fucking ass. Broncos have won 3 of the 4 encounters, winning 2019, 22 and 2023. They lost in 2021 to Manly at Magic Round, where they were flogged 50 points to 6. In the past 10 games between these two, however, which 8 of the games have been at Suncorp, while the other 2 have been on the Central Coast, which is fucking stupid. These 2 have not played at Brookvale or 4 Pines Park since 2014, unless you count the trial game from early in the year, but that doesn't really count. Yeah, so it's been 10 years since Manly have played Broncos at 4 Pines Park, which is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, anyways, Broncos have won 6 of the 10 encounters, which includes winning the last 2, which were both Magic Round games. The last time Manly beat the Broncos was back in 2021, which that's Manly's only win for Magic Round, where Manly won 50 points to 6. At the moment, Broncos are in 6th place at $1.28 favourites, and also the Sea Eagles are also just in the 8 at $3.73 outsiders. So this won't be an easy game, and no doubt this game will also be another vlogging for all 4 games that have happened at Magic Round. All 4 results have all but either way, when they've won, it has been a flogging. So only 2019 was the closest they had for a close game, really. 2016 and 2019. 2021, 50 points to 6. 2022, 38-0. And last year, 32-6. So they've all won by at least 20 or more on average at least. But Jesus fucking Christ, or 26 points even. So who do I have winning this one? This will be fairly straightforward. I will be in my Mealy gear for this one, obviously, but I just can't trust Mealy, especially that Turbo is out for the next few weeks and during Origin period, which is not good for New South Wales. But I'm discuss Origin a different time when the team list will be announced in a few short weeks. But Broncos will win this one. I'll go Broncos to win by 10 scoreline. I'm hoping it's a close one, but finally, go Broncos by 10, 22-12. Try scorers for both teams. For Broncos, we'll go Reece Walsh, and for Manly, we'll go Daly Cherry Evans. Why not? But I'm sick of this concept. I'm sick of this matchup for Magic Ground. If it happens again next year, I'm ready to throw a fucking dart at a Broncos player next year, or even whatever. But hopefully Broncos will get away with this one, and hopefully this will be the final fixture for Magic Ground between these two. Hopefully, Broncos by 10. Now we move on to the Saturday. We move on to the Saturday games for Magic Round. The first one kicking off at 3 p.m. We have the Gold Coast Titans as the home team taking on the Newcastle Knights as the first game for the Saturday games, first of 3. Now, last week, Titans managed to hold on a Cowboys comeback only in the last 10 minutes. They led 20 points to 0 for most of the game, but good on the Titans for their defence. They've been improving, and they managed to get their second win of the season, winning 2018. As for the Knights, for the third consecutive week without Kalen Ponga, they managed to win somehow against the West Tigers up there in Tamworth last week, winning 20 points to 14. Now, at the moment, the Titans are still in second last in 16th at $2.26 outsiders, and the Knights are $1.64 favourites in 10th place at the moment. So this would be another game that can go either way as well. Now, in the past 10 games between these two, it has been 5 games apiece. However, the Knights have won 3 of the last 4 clashes, which includes winning their last game, which was back in 2023, where the Knights beat the Titans 46-26 at McDonald Jones Stadium back in May. I think that was the week after Magic Round that year, which unfortunately the Knights did not participate in Magic Round last year, which obviously a team has to get the bye for Magic Round each year until we at least get the 18th team, but fortunately they missed out, which majority of us disagreed, and I disagree. They should have played and a different team should have, but it is what it is. So the Knights have got to they have won 2 of the 3 games they've played in Magic Round since 2019. They played in 2019, which they won that one. 2021 they lost, and 2022, which last time they played was against the Dogs, they won that one as well. Which I think that also kicked off Magic Round in 2022 for that one, Knights Dogs. And as for the Titans, for Magic Round, they've won 2 of the 4 games. They lost their first 2, and then they managed to win their last 2 games. 2022, they beat the Dragons 2016. And last year, in the last game of Magic Round, they beat the Eels, I think it was 28-26, I think the score was. They managed to hold on to beat the Eels. So, this will be an interesting clash, but I think this will be probably the worst game, I would say, honestly, alongside another game which I'll get into very shortly. For this one can go either way. I will back the Knights though for this one. Now, David Armstrong has had a head knock, so I'm not sure if he will be playing this week or not. Most likely not, because the Knights do have I know they've got an 8-day turnaround, so we'll wait and see for that. But I don't know if he'll play or not. But Titans have lost a few players. AJ Brimson, Kieran Foran, Harley Smith-Shields, and Philip Summing have lost to hamstring injuries and something else as well. But Jesus Christ, so this won't be a pretty game to watch at least. That's well. But I will back the Knights this one to win by 4. We'll go 18-14 scoreline for try scorers for both. Oh yeah, Tyson Gill will be out for the Knights, and along with Dane Gagai and Tyson Frizzell. For the Knights, for a try scorer, we will go. It's quite tough. We'll go Jackson Hastings to score, and for Titans, not many good players left. Fuck it, we'll go Chris Randall to score. Why not? I know that's bold, but I had to think of a try scorer. But Knights to win this one by 4. Now we move on to our second of the Saturday games, and this no doubt will be the game of Magic Round to look forward for everyone. We have the first place Cronulla Sutherland Sharks taking on the 5th place Sydney Roosters. Roosters last week managed to pull off a win over the Warriors, no doubt. Looked like an easy one, winning 38-18 at Allianz last week against the Warriors. And as for the Sharks did it. The Sharks remain on top. They broke the losing streak at Amy Park against the Storm. They won 25-18 without Nico Hines as well, I should mention. They beat them. They beat the Storm. They doubt everyone wrong. But Jesus Christ, that was a good game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch it as I was on the train back from Colton all the way back to the Central Coast to not watch the game, unfortunately. But I did watch the replay, and it was a great game. Now, that Harry Grant sin bin was obviously a shit call, and that should not have been a sin bin. That what had happened onto Atkinson, that was just terrible from the ref. But can't do much about it, really. But anyways, that was a cracking contest last week, no doubt. And this will be a cracking contest and the game of the round for Magic Round, no doubt. Now, as it stands at the moment, the Sharks are the outsiders, $2.47. They are also the home team for this one. The Roosters are the away team at $1.55 favourites. The Sharks have lost their last 3 games at Magic Round. Their only game at Magic Round they have won was in 2019, which I think that was against Gold Coast. But they've lost their last 3 in a row at Magic Round, and also they've only won 7 games in total out of a possible 31, which I think that's the worst record for anyone between the 17 teams at the moment. And as for the Roosters, they have won 3 of the 4 Magic Round fixtures. Obviously, the only loss was against the Cowboys last year, where they lost 20 points to 6 and managed to just squint in the try in the last 3 minutes or so of that one. And that was during heavy wet weather conditions for that one too on the Sunday. But this should be a juicy contest, no doubt. In the past 10 games between these two, Roosters have won 8 of the last 10, which includes winning 8 of the last 9 and winning 8 straight. Now, the last time these two played was a finals clash where the Roosters won by 1 point, 13-12 at PointsBet Stadium. And this will be the first time these two have clashed at some court as well for Magic Round. So this will be a cracking contest, no doubt. Now, Nico Hines could be back for this one. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. And I don't think there's any injury concerns for Roosters, so they'll pretty much be full strength. But for this one, I didn't tip them last week. I will tip the Sharks for this one. Now, you may say, yeah, you tip the Roosters as they have the more full-strength side compared to the Sharks. Because, I mean, Roosters have obviously they're more of an attacking team. They're one of the more best attacking teams. As for the Sharks, they're one of the best defending teams at the moment. But who knows who will win this one. Defense wins you the game pretty much. But I will take the Sharks this one, though, in this cracking contest by 2 points. We will go 2018 scoreline, 2-point field goal from the Sharks. For a try scorer for both, Dominic Young for the Roosters, and we'll go William Kennedy to score for the Sharks. This will be a cracking contest, no doubt. Sharks to win by 2. Now we move on to the final game of the Saturday games for Magic Ground. Obviously, probably won't be a good game either. Obviously, we have my boys as the home team for the first time since 2019 for Magic Ground in 17th place. So bottom of the barrel again. 17th place South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the 12th place North Queensland Cowboys. Now, Cowboys, they staged a comeback in the last 10 minutes of the game against the Titans. They fell short, losing 5 in a row now. 2018 at Seabus last week. And as for my boys, obviously can't really say much. I was there at Cogra in wet conditions. I had to live with it. We lost to the Dragons 28-14 against one of our rivals. Well, not really much of a rivalry these days, but we still lost to them. So not a good result. Latrell did return, and we had a few debuters in Dean Tapoa, Matt French, and Shira Baski from the Townsville Blackhawks, who used to play for the Cowboys and I think the Broncos as well. But other than that, we did show some performance, but obviously it wasn't enough. Now at the moment, the Rabbitohs are the outsiders at $3.30 and the Cowboys at $1.34 favourites. Now for Magic Round stats, we are the only team undefeated in Magic Round other than Dolphins, of course. We have won all 4 games first started in 2019. We played the Cowboys first up, funny enough. So this will be the second time we'll play against the Cowboys for Magic Round. I'm not too fussy with it. We won 32-16 on a Sunday afternoon clash for that one. 2021, we beat the Sharks 32-22. That was also during that 3 weeks. We lost. We got put 50 points on by the Storm and the Panthers respectively within those 3 weeks. So that was in between Magic Round 2. 2022, we almost blew it. We just managed to hold off the Warriors 32-30, and we managed to somehow win despite them catching up. And then last year, obviously, I was there last year. That was arguably the best game last year I went for as a Rabbitohs fan. We beat the Storm 28-12 in the final game with the same fixture as well, time fixture at 7:45, which that was just a great performance that game. For that one, Alex Johnson's 200th game as well, and I think he scored double. And speaking of AJ, he will definitely be back for this one. He was in the reserves last week, but obviously he wasn't named in the extended in the 19-man squad, and Tane Meal will return to suspension. I don't want him to play, but we've got to play with who we got as well, and I'm not too sure if anyone else will return, but Jacob Host will return from suspension when we play at Eels next Saturday night. And as for Cowboys, they're expecting Murray Taulagi to return after suffering I think it was a hamstring injury for the past few games, as he's missed the past few games. And as for both teams, they're both on 5 in a row losses, so one of them will be broken, or should it result in a draw? I'm hoping not. But anyways, in the past 10 games between these two, we have won 7 of the last 10 against the Cowboys, which includes winning 7 in a row. And the last time we played against the Cowboys, which was at a core, they flogged us and they broke the losing streak, 31-6, and that was in round 17 last year, and I was at. Not good. And I should mention as well, the Cowboys record for Magic Round, they lost the first 2 games and then they've won the last 2 games. They beat the Tigers 36-12 in 2022. And then last year they beat the Roosters 20-6. And funny enough, out of the 5 games, counting this one they have played for Magic Round, they played the Roosters and the Rabbitohs twice each. Cowboys may get a win over us, but we'll have to find out, obviously. But obviously, this won't be an easy game, and it won't be a pretty game either. I will back my team, no doubt. I will never never get back against my team. I know I've done that a few times in the last few years, but I'm not doing that this year. I know we're doing shit, but for to get better, we've got to do more shit, obviously. But I will back us to win. I think this will be another low-scoring game. We'll go Rabbits by 4, 16-12 scoreline, For try scorers, Cowboys will go Scott Drinkwater. And for Rabbitohs, we'll go Jack White to score. Hopefully, come on, boys. Certain someone, we don't want him to win. But let's bring it on. Come on, boys. Let's keep our if there's one thing at least, let's keep our undefeated winning streak in Magic Round continuing. Alright, up the Rabbits by 4. Now we move on to the final day of Magic Round, Sunday. First game kicking off at 1:50 p.m. rather than the usual 2 p.m. fixture. Then we have a repeat game, once again, from this time from last year. We have the Warriors as the home team taking on the New Zealand Warriors, taking on the Penrith Panthers. Warriors currently sitting 14th place. They're back in the bottom 4 after getting demolished against the Roosters 38-18 at Allianz on Sunday. And as for Penrith, I was at the game. They almost slipped the game away to the Dogs, but they managed to hold on in a tryless second half, winning 16-10. They only got 2 penalty goals in the second half, and they scored, obviously, the 2 tries in the first half, almost letting the Dogs win 16-10. Now, at the moment, obviously, Penrith are the favourites at $1.35 in second place, and 14th place Warriors are currently at $3.20 outsiders. These two did clash at Magic Round last year, kicking off the Saturday fixture last year, the Panthers winning 18-6 over the Warriors on the first game on the Saturday last year. And as for Magic Round records, Warriors have only won 1 game off the 4. They lost, obviously, to the Panthers last year, lost to the Rabbits in 2022. And I think the other team was the Tigers. I think they lost in 2021. The only win they've got was in 2019, which I think that was against Dragons for that one. And as for Penrith, it's quite the opposite. They've got 3 wins. They've won the last 3 games. They've won the last 3 Magic Round fixtures. They've only lost the first one, which was in 2019. But obviously, these two clashed last year, and I think it was a good game, but obviously it was a boring game, no doubt. But just have to wait and see what happens. So in the past 10 games between these two, Panthers have won 9 of the last 10, which includes winning 8 in a row, so winning the last 8 games. The last time the Warriors beat the Panthers was in 2019, where they beat the Panthers at Bluebet, or Panther Stadium, known as back then, winning 30 points to 10. So for this game, it's fairly straightforward. Obviously, I will back Penrith to win this one. I don't want to sound too cocky here. I should mention as well they've lost Nathan Cleary to another hamstring injury, which can't get a break, can you? And that's another major blow for New South Wales. But yeah, I'll go Panthers to win this one. High scoring 1-12. I'll go 28-16 for the scoreline. For try scorers, let's go Chuggle Nickel Clock Start. And for the Warriors and for the Panthers, we'll go Dylan Edwards to score. For the Panthers, so Panthers to win by 12. Now we move on to our second of the 2 Sunday fixtures for Magic Round. The next one, kicking off at 4:05 p.m. between the 3rd place Melbourne Storm and the 13th place Parramatta Eels. So Storm last week lost in that cracking game against the Sharks, losing 25-18 and ending their 14-game winning streak at Amy Park, which dates back to, I think, the start of last year as well, which good on them, but it came to an end eventually. And also that sin bin for Harry Grant was arguably one of the worst calls I've ever seen in NRL history. And I believe that Harry Grant will fight the charge, but I think he may be able to play this week. I'm not sure if he was like placed on report or not, because some sin bins you can be placed on report, but some of them you're not for whatever reason. And as for the Eels, their wobbling ways continues after they lost to the Broncos, 30 points to 14. Now, I'm not sure if Moses will return this week. I don't think he will, but Gutherson is still at least a few more weeks away, so they're still going to be struggling without both of them. Storm are also the favourites at the moment at $1.29, and Eels are outsiders at $3.64. Now, this will be the second two. These two have clashed at Magic Round, dating back to the first one back in 2019, where Melbourne won that one, thrashing the Eels 64-10. And I believe that's the highest winning margin for Magic Round so far. I believe so, I think, by 54 points. But it's not all happy roses for Melbourne. They have only won 2 of their 4 games for Magic Round, and they've lost the last 2. Back in 2022, they were destroyed against the Panthers, 32-6, and then last year they lost to my boys, 28-12 on the Saturday night last year. So, but obviously I think they will be able to easily win this one. Now, funny enough, these two have clashed at Suncorp Stadium 3 times within the last 10 games, which comes to this now. Between the last 10 games between the two, it has been 5 games apiece. However, Eels have won 4 in a row, for winning 4 of the last 6, but Melbourne have won the last 2 games, which they won both the regular season games last year, the opening round last year, winning 16-12, and then later on in the year at Marvel Stadium, Melbourne flogged the Eels 46-16. And during that, in those 10 games include 3 of the games that have been played at Suncorp, which Melbourne won the first 2, 64-10, and then in 2020, which obviously Melbourne were playing their home games up at Sunshine Coast / Suncorp, as they were unavailable to play at Amy Park due to the pandemic. And I think this was a semi-final game, or a preliminary final game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Melbourne won that one 36-24. And then the most recent clash at Suncorp, which was in 2021, where the comp moved up to Queensland. Eels won that one this time, 22-10. So this will be the 4th time these two have clashed within the last 5 years. That's crazy. But for this game, obviously, fairly straightforward. Melbourne to win this one by 12, I'll say. Scoreline will go 30-18. For try scorers for both, for Melbourne, we will go Nick Meaney to score. And then for the Eels, we will go Bailey Simonson to score for the Eels. So Melbourne in this one by 12. Now we move on to the final game of Magic Round, wrapping up Magic Round for 2024. We're kicking off at 6:25 on the Sunday night, of course. We have the West Tigers, who are the home team for this one, in 15th, taking on the 4th place Dolphins. Now, last week, Tigers went down to the Knights up in Tamworth last week, making it 6 consecutive losses now in a row, losing 20-14. And as for the Dolphins, they managed to just win the game against the Sea Eagles, winning 30-26 after they were losing by double digits at one point, which merely have done a few times this year by winning it. But Dolphins hold on, and they won 30 points to 26. Now, this time, the Hammer Taburai Fido is expected to return this week for the Dolphins, so major inclusion. But Trey Fuller has been marvellous. It sucks he's going to be to the reserves, but there might be the small chance he may play if the Hammer's not ready to go yet. But obviously, this won't be a good game either, because it'll just be a snooze fest game. Now, obviously, this will be the only 3rd game between the two. Tigers won the first one last year, and then most recently back in round 5, which, funny enough, was at Suncorp back on April 6th. Dolphins won that 26-16, so this will be the 2nd time the Tigers have played the Dolphins at Suncorp in 1 year. That's crazy. Now, the Tigers are outsiders at $3.25 and Dolphins $1.35. Now, obviously, Dolphins are undefeated in Magic Round alongside the Rabbits, but they've had one game for Magic Round so far, and they beat the Sharks in the Battle of the Sea Creatures 36-16, and that was Wayne Bennett's 900th game last year as well. And as for the Tigers, surprisingly, they have won 3 of the 4 Magic Round fixtures. Their only loss was back in 2022, I believe, but they beat the Dragons last year to win 18-16 for Magic Round. But for this game, this will be straightforward as well. We'll go to Dolphins to win 1-13. No, we'll go 1-12. I think Dolphins will win by 8. 24-16 scoreline. Try scorers for both teams. For Tigers, we will go Jermaine Buller, and for Dolphins, should the Hammer play, I will go the Hammer to score for the Dolphins. But anyways, and I forgot to mention this, the George Illawarra Dragons have the bye for Magic Round, so unfortunately they will miss out Magic Round, but they will be back next year for it. Sadly, the team needs to have the bye for Magic Round, but until we get an 18th team, one team has to suffer. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up my 2024 NRL Magic Round tips 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are so close to 1,500 subscribers, and I'm hoping we can get there before I fly up on Thursday afternoon to Brisbane. And no doubt I will have another great time up at Suncorp Stadium for Magic Round once again. It's my second time, and I will go for the next 2 seasons, no doubt. I will be meeting up as well with a few of my mates up there as well. So if you are there, come say hello. I will be around the ground at some point. There'll be a good chance. I'll obviously be wearing Rabbitohs gear, and I'll also be wearing the Manly gear for the Friday game, obviously. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be getting out of here now, and I'll see you all in the next one. I will see you for Magic Round from Friday to Sunday. Anyways, and 3 big vlogs coming for each day as well. Anyways, till next time, see you in the next one.